Oh, no countdown.
Oh,
we are live.
Oh, no. No.
Here it is.
We forgot the countdown.
Should we let's count down from 30 to 0.
What's up?
Nice.
What? It's the wrong background.
I like that though. I think it looks cool.
It doesn't.
No.
There we go. What's up to our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation? We're back, baby. We are here to talk about comic books. This is the CultPop Spoiler Alert podcast. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. Noel's not here, which is why I'm messing everything up. Normally he does all the stuff and makes everything great. I just show up and mess things up. So without him here to make things great, I am just already messing up the things.
Normally
I'm your host,
balance.
Johnny Destructo. That's me. JD, you can call me that if you want. You can call me a myriad of different things. I will respond to many things.
Can we call you a myriad of different things? Can we be like a myriad of different things? What have you been up to?
Yes. How can I help you? Yeah. You can come to my store. Yeah. Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex, 4327 Main Street in Philadelphia, PA, 19127. And I just 19127. Yeah, that's right. And I'm a mess because I've been in the car for from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. Oh. I've been driving back from Vermont. We went for a business weekend trip. Oh, and it was wonderful. Trip. Yeah. But hey, with me this week is Brian Lieb.
Hi.
Hi, buddy.
Hi.
How do?
Do well.
Do well. Good. Join us in the chat. I don't know if you guys are hanging out with us in Twitch or on Facebook or on YouTube, but we're those three places. You may be listening to this on iTunes after the fact, which case just yell at your iPod. iPhone?
Yeah. Find your iPod, get it from whatever box it's in, and yell at it.
Point at it aggressively.
Yeah, say the stuff that you want to say aggressively to us.
Yes. But anyway, let's see. There's people in the chat. Let's see. Wait, it's Christopher Goodnight, and it seems like he's singing songs and saying Happy Farmhand Anniversary Day.
Yeah, what's that? What?
That's a comic book.
Oh, is that right?
You know, the thing that we usually discuss.
I know about them.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. I've been getting away with it for a while now. But no, what is the Farmhand Anniversary? That's the name of the comic?
No, Farmhand is the book, is the comic book. I'm assuming it is having an anniversary.
Makes sense. Or there's an anniversary described in the story.
Maybe.
Or those are the only two things I can think of, but maybe there's something else.
So normally we talk about 5 to 7 of the issues that come out that week. Mm-hmm. New book day is Wednesday generally. And so we read a bunch of the books and then we talk at you about them and to each other about them. But because I've been in Vermont, I've only read two comic books. So instead we're going to do
read comics in Vermont, right?
They don't. No,
that sucks.
Yeah.
Or at all, you can read some stuff.
I was in the bathroom too, and they kicked down the door.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really.
Are you sure those were official agents? Or
it was my wife.
Yeah,
they look suspiciously like my wife.
Oh, they did, both of them.
Yeah.
All right.
So tonight we're going to talk about Batman number 125, and then we're going to talk about what was the other one? Oh, Dark Crisis number 2.
Number 2.
But then we're going to talk about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes.
So that's probably the most exciting thing. Although, I don't know, those two comics are pretty good. Should we do that? Do you have anything that you would like to say?
Nothing comes to mind, but if it happens, I'll interject.
Oh, Noel's in the chat saying, "Sup, bitches."
Sup, bitches. He wants us to eat. Have some dinner.
Yes.
And he's very controlling about it.
Why won't they sup? Why won't these bitches sup?
Sup,
They're wasting away.
Hello, no.
Passively listening while I keep working.
All right. Yeah.
That's okay. I'm passively participating while you're working. Let's talk about Batman number 125.
Okay.
We're going to share the screen. I'm going to go to window. I'm going to freaking go to my reader. And then I'm going to have the wrong book up. So then I got to go. And then, God, I miss Noel. I miss you, buddy.
Yeah.
And then there we go. Ah, there it is. I did it.
That's Batman.
Ah, there he is. Now, first things first. This
Okay.
cover is awesome. As soon as I saw this cover, I was like, I want that. I like that cover very much. The design of it is wonderful. Jorge Jimenez is quickly becoming one of my favorite artists. He did a really long stint on Justice League, I believe, with Scott Snyder, which I did not like. But now he's working on the Batman with Chip Zdarsky. They're brand new team. A new era begins. And as it says on the cover. And so, yeah, Chip Zdarsky, who's been absolutely killing it on Daredevil and Devil's Reign and soon to be Daredevil.
And the other Batman thing. He's writing Batman Night or whatever we read the first several, right? Where it's like the training, some of the training days.
The Night.
Night.
Batman the Night. Right. That's cool.
Really
I forgot about that. Yeah, but this, that is very good. This is better, if I may. May I?
You may.
Oh, thanks. This is better. Christopher Goodnight says, I do like Jorge Jimenez and Chip Zdarsky, but I'm skeptical about jumping back into Batman. Just do it.
Yeah. It's not easy. Much risk. But
it's
a little,
$3.99.
Sure.
$3.99. I mean, that's a little bit of risk.
You never know. I've had times that I had to count the comics that I got and prioritize, what I really wanted and what I would leave there.
Yeah, so, back when I didn't own a comic book store, it was much more difficult to choose. Yeah. Anyway.
JD, earlier you said, first things first, this cover is great. And I'll tell you, a lot of times when people say first things first, they are saying, like, the thing that I prioritize. The first thing I'm going to mention that I think is worth mentioning is this, right? Yeah. But the cover is the first thing.
The first thing is the first thing.
And I like that. First things first. Here.
I wasn't lying to you, Brian.
No.
This is the first thing.
Yeah. It wasn't even a metaphor, really.
Yeah. I was just starting at the beginning.
Not even a saying.
All right, second thing second.
Page number 2.
Page
Black
2.
Adam, the official preludes.
Third things third.
Here we go.
The comic book starts. Yeah. Third things third. I did find this a little confusing because we've got this whole storyline starts with the caption saying another time, ... And then we go through the entire story. And then at the end, it says now. And I was like, oh, right. Wait, why isn't this now? And it took me way too long to realize, oh, right, because Dark Crisis happened and Batman's dead. That makes sense.
Yes, but I was confused too because of that same reason. But Alfred is there, right? Which is like...
Well, that's why it says another time.
Right, like even beyond the Batman being dead part. But then during the story, Tim Drake is Robin and is also, I thought they alluded to his embracing of or awareness of his bisexuality. And so that happened now. So, but he and Catwoman.
A couple weeks ago.
Comics time, that's like within the last 3 seconds. But
that's true. Yeah.
But
that was a bathroom break ago.
right.
Yeah.
But Catwoman is with somebody else in her underclothes. So
yes, I was also taken aback by that.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, they first of all, did you realize that there were 2 stories in this book?
I thought there must have been because of the now and another time thing. But I'll tell you, that is my only clue that there were 2 stories in this book. And while reading the book, I did not think about that at all. Or you mean that there was a second Catwoman story?
There was a first Catwoman story, yes.
Yes.
There was a second story,
and it was
about Catwoman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I did realize that. Okay. I thought you meant there were two ongoing stories in the first part.
No.
Which would kind of make sense with the time stuff. Yeah. But I didn't see any evidence of that. You know what I mean?
No, but in the second story where Catwoman is doing her thing, also written by Chip Zdarsky, it is alluded to that there is something going on with that gentleman that she was in bed with or near a bed with.
Oh, I got you. She was in bed and he was nearby.
Yes.
Yeah.
In such a way that made it seem like they would be in and around the bed together. I forget the guy's name. I forget his name, but I think that's going on in the Catwoman main series.
Okay.
So I think her and Bruce didn't get married.
They're not together at all?
But that's what I thought. They were like not married, but together.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Now I'm wondering, like, are they just not
They're like
exclusive? Maybe, I don't know. I haven't read Batman for a while, and I only read the first issue of Catwoman, which I enjoyed, but then time does what time does. And turns out you can't stop it either, which is very frustrating.
Well, we haven't been able to stop
That's
it.
true. That's true. It's not that we can't. It's just we haven't figured it out. So anyway, that's the John. That's what's going on. I was confused by all of those things put together, but then I was like, oh, okay. So by another time, they mean either slightly recently or slightly less recently, depending upon when Alfred was alive and Tim Drake came out as bisexual.
Right. Which things did not overlap.
Right.
For us. So, yeah.
Very confusing.
Very confusing. The story was cool, though.
The rest of it was great.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I do get a little frustrated when a new writer comes on and they're like, I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to kill somebody. And then they do it. Like, do we have to kill Penguin for all this? Really?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I was a little like,
is anyone in Gotham literally going to be like, hey, Batman was in the Penguin's hospital room. He must have murdered him. Right. I guess Batman, despite not murdering anybody all this time, just decided to murder an unarmed man in his hospital bed. That was weird.
I wonder, the citizens of Gotham, and it may be different in different eras, do they know that Batman doesn't kill? You know, that he doesn't murder anyone.
That's true. That's true.
Because there might be stories going around that he does. He certainly hurts them a great deal.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the cops.
Sure. They probably would. Yeah, it's true.
Noel is helping us out in the comments. Thank you, Noel. So he says they did allude to his bisexuality. So get this. Dark Crisis, this is all caps. Dark Crisis is happening in the near future of the DCU. So it's not actually now.
Right.
But it's in the near future. Although that makes that a little bit more confusing because I think
the Alfred stuff is what confuses me. That's the thing for me.
See, here at the end, we've got the Batcave now, not in the near future.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. Maybe this is still before Dark Crisis, but we know that Batman is no longer rich. But does that mean he no longer has access to his Batcave?
Like he still made a bunch of stuff already.
Just like get in there. Yeah, it's not like you got to keep up. It's not a lot of upkeep. Well, I don't know. It actually might.
I know there's a lot of bats.
Yeah, it's a lot of bats. So much guano to wipe up, especially if Alfred's not there to wipe it up. You know.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know how I feel about Failsafe, like this big robot at the end here. It's a cool looking robot.
Sure.
But I'm like, does Batman need a giant? I mean, I guess he already had a mech suit.
He did, and this is a failsafe, which is the kind of thing that he would do, and sort of did do in Kingdom Come, but he was controlling those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like his name's Failsafe. I do like that.
That's a cool name.
Now, aside from all of those issues, confusions, and problems I had with the issue, this was great.
Yeah. It was cool.
It
was pretty sweet Batman and pretty sweet Robin stuff.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
I was so happy to have Tim back on board. Like, I like Damian. Damian's a cool kid. But Tim's my dude.
Mm-hmm.
When I was coming into Batman, not coming inside, but it's very different. When I was starting to read Batman, it's
Tell us
when
about
Tim
the other
Drake
thing,
had
the other kind,
taken
though.
over. What's that?
Tell us about the other kind.
Like ejaculating.
Yeah. Like Inside Batman, I won
Inside,
the series of
yeah.
events that led you to do that.
Well, a lady never tells.
All right.
Valmont is a new character in Catwoman's book. Thank you, Noel. Valmont is the gentleman. So, all right. So Noel, since you're not on the show, but you're here on the show, Bruce and Selina got married in Batcat, which again is in the future. So they eventually get back together. Spoiler alert. I haven't finished that yet. I'm just kidding. But so what's going on right now? So Valmont and Selina are doing the beep bops, but are Bruce and Selina not together at all? Or is it sort of like an open relationship? Which would be cool. And that would be totally in line, I think, with both Bruce and Selina to have an open relationship. What do you think? Do you concur, Doctor?
I can see it happening. I assume you're referring to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it happening. I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me story-wise either way for either of them. If they were like, "Nah, I don't do that." She's gone. That's it. But the open relationship also fits. He's like, "Well, I like to have sex sometimes, and I don't mind if you have it with other people."
I feel like a woman who dresses like a cat and a man who dresses like a bat they're not going to be hindered by vanilla sexual relationships.
Well, especially Catwoman, I feel like.
Yeah.
Catwoman is probably like, this is going to happen. Maybe not probably, but I could see her saying like, this is what I'm all about. I mean, they carried on a years-long sort of relationship just as Batman and Catwoman. Maybe not consummated relationship in all continuities.
Noel says, they are taking a break kind of thing. He is focusing on the mission again. I don't think, he says, Bruce is an open relationship kind of guy, more so a guy that withholds pleasure or happiness from himself. But, okay. Bruce might not get it on with other people, right? If he's in a relationship, I imagine he's in that relationship. Man does not have time for multiple relationships.
Right.
He's out there doing the mission.
But
I also think he would be the kind of guy who'd be like, listen, the mission's important. You're important to me. But if there's nights where I can't get around to it, go have fun.
Yeah. Right? I think that sounds just right for him. Yeah.
And then he'll sit around and brood about it because he has to torture himself.
He'll be thinking about it while he's out doing his... the words of it will be floating around his head in a box while he's doing his Batman stuff. Yeah.
Captions about it will be.
Yeah. Now, anyway, you said he dresses like a bat, and people say that a lot, and I've always felt he dresses themed like a bat, right? He is a bat.
He's not dressed as an actual bat. He's not a furry.
Yeah, like he doesn't have a bat sort of face or wings. He has a cape. It's a stylized imagery of a bat, Yeah. And he's got a bat on his chest, which is kind of like wearing a Batman Halloween costume with a picture of Batman on your chest, if he is trying to dress as a bat.
Right. That's true.
Maybe that is what he's going for.
He's thematically dressed in the bat realm.
Yeah.
And what do you think of this goddamn book?
I liked it too. I thought the art was great. And I felt like it was just like cool, right on Batman stuff. You know what I mean? I like the scene where, he shows up as Bruce Wayne, but he's got the mask and the utility belt and is just wearing those two. That's a cool thing. That's a cool panel where Tim Drake gets shot through part of the neck.
In the throat, the neck.
Yeah. I hope he'll be all right. I think he will. They got him to the hospital.
Probably.
You never know. I think Penguin will probably be all right too.
Of course he will. Yeah.
I mean, he might be all right within this story.
Right. It's a gag. It's a whole thing. Right. Yeah.
The gag.
It's
just a gag.
I did it as a gag. It was a goof. I
Batman.
framed you for my murder, but as a goof.
Yeah,
you get it.
it's funny, right? And Batman would laugh.
Of all your villains, I'm the one most known for making jokes.
Yeah. I mean, Penguin might also have that element to his personality, and he feels overshadowed by the Joker and the Riddler and Harley Quinn at one time, and he's like,
I
I'm
want to
doing
do a
it.
gag.
Yeah.
I want to do a goof.
Penguins are funny, you know?
They're nature's stand-up comedians.
They're little stand-up comics. Yeah. And can you imagine the South Pole? It's just a laugh a minute, I think.
Yeah. I also liked what happened with Clayface here, because I remember the last time I saw Clayface was in the Detective Comics run by James Tynion, where he sort of was like, I don't want to be a bad guy. I'm just an actor. And so Bruce was like, hey, I'm going to put you on the Bat team. You're going to be part of the Bat family. Oh, yeah, now, I never finished that run, so I don't know what happened to Clayface after that. Yeah. But I was always like, oh, I really like that development. It felt like Sandman.
Yeah.
Came cool. Flint Marko in Spider-Man, in the 90s, where he was like, I'm going to be a good guy.
Yeah. Is he still, he's still pretty much a good guy, right? Or is he back to...
He's back to being bad, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. But yeah, this issue was great. It had good Batmaning and had great Robining.
Yeah. So this Clayface is the actor Clayface? That's the one that's going around now?
Oh, good point. Right, there's several Clayfaces.
There are. Clayfaces.
I almost did that too. But then I thought better of it.
Oh, yes. I didn't.
Yeah, this may be a different Clayface. Maybe you're right.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't even know the actor one was the one that was around before. Although he's the one that I most associate with Clayface, probably because of the animated series.
I remember back. Oh, I dropped my headphone. I remember back in the day there was like this Batman story called. Was it called the Mud Pack? And it was
that was a very early Batman comic. I had like one or two of the issues.
By very early, you mean?
Covered, for me, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Time began before I was born. I've heard.
Yeah,
but
I
can't verify it. I can't even verify that the last moment happened.
It's true.
But the one that I
won't believe you.
What'd you say?
I said I wouldn't believe you anyway. So
that's wise to keep some doubt about it. Yeah. Batman like covered in mud, but it was just like his head and shoulders, I think, or maybe not even that. That's the cover that stands out the most to me. But anyway, I digress from your statement. You remember the Mud Pack?
Yes, that was it.
Oh, very good. I remember it too.
This issue was great. Great. I'm really excited to keep reading this. Chip Zdarsky did a great job, except for all of the problems and confusions and issues that I had with this one issue.
Yeah, it was still pretty cool. Hey, I liked Robin's cape being in the bat symbol on the cover, roughly where the bat symbol would be.
The cover is so good.
Yeah,
this cool. Cover is so good. This is a good poster. I would put this up in my shop.
Yeah.
The light from below and the gradient and his cape and how it replaces the bat on Batman's chest is so it's just such a great cover.
Oh, there's some blood on Batman's knuckles as he grasps his cape, and I think the two bullet holes over the yellow part of the wall just like balance the image and add something there. It's cool.
Although this implies the blood on the knuckles on the inside of the cape implies that he
punched him with the cape.
Grabbed his cape and punched someone with his cape in his hand.
Well, now here's what I think could have happened, because sometimes he does put his cape into his hands, right? As he's like leaping, maybe he'll have it to cause a dramatic effect, and maybe the expedient thing to do was as he was coming down, kind of hit with that hand. Maybe he's kicking somebody else too at the same time.
That's true. Okay,
as he's swooping in.
Nice.
I could see it happening. But also, as we were watching as I was looking at the screen while you were talking, I noticed the bat symbol in the lower part of the Batman logo. Not just the pictured part. There's two bat symbols there, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the bat symbol is inside the Batman font.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's both. It's interesting that it's pictured and it's off center. There's the shaded one, and then the one formed by the bottom of the font. Very cool.
Now,
very well done.
At the risk of keeping this going on too long, I do think that I would like to point out a very small little detail.
Okay.
In here, I have it up on the screen. Bruce Wayne has gone into this gala, and he's not able to bring any of his equipment for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But he does sneak in a mask that is not the right mask. This mask is, I guess, foldable and is not armored like his regular cowl, right? Because his regular cowl has like white eyes that come down.
Mm-hmm.
And the you can see his eyes in here. It's a nice little touch.
Yeah, that's true. That's cool.
Yeah. And you can see that it's sewn in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's clearly like fabric as opposed to his usual, what I assume is like armored.
Oh, that's very cool. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, but in order to get it in, he had to be able to like just fold, put in his pocket.
It could have been his pocket square itself. Is that what you said?
I didn't. No, his pocket square was.
Oh, well, maybe he had a second pocket square. You gotta have two, or that could have been the inside. Maybe
you can see him pulling out of his inside pocket. But anyway,
there you go.
This was awesome. It's off to a great start. I'm definitely going to keep reading it. Christopher Goodnight, read Batman. Try this first issue. This was great.
Yeah.
Except for the confusing Dark Crisis stuff.
Who's that?
Noel says, isn't the cape thick, flame retardant, and or Kevlar-ish? Maybe wrapping it in his fist puts a little mustard on that knuckle sandwich.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Good point.
Solid.
It's a good point. All right. Let's friggin' move on to the second and last book of the week before we talk about Love and Thunder. I'm trying to find. Here we go. Dark Crisis. Ba-blam. Get out of here. You have to change the things. And it really helps that I'm like saying it out loud and really drawing a halt to the show. There we go. Dark Crisis.
Oh, I wanted to talk about the process of getting Dark Crisis up.
Tough. We're done. Dark Crisis number 2. It actually looks like a Roman numeral 2 there.
There's a 2 there. Very nice.
There's a 2.
Yeah.
So this is by not Kevin Williamson, Joshua Williamson, and Daniel Sempere. Sempar?
I don't know. Sandere.
Does this feel like a crisis to you?
No. It feels like an annual DC book, which I would get into. Other than the fact that Pariah is involved, right?
Right.
So there may be something brewing that this all will play into, but it definitely feels like a completely separate story, like what happens when the Justice League is not around kind of thing, rather than universe-altering multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah, this feels like actually, Noel has put it in the chat. Dark Crisis, Titans Rising. It feels like what's happening to the Titans while a crisis is happening. It feels like a mini series that isn't the main series.
Yeah, it's true.
I can't tell if I like that because I don't know what's going on with the goddamn crisis. What's the crisis?
Right, where's the crisis? Now, if it was called something else, if it was called like something that was appropriate to the story.
Titans Rising.
Yeah, well, or just some DC universe. Because, like, the whole Green Lantern Corps shows up in the end, too.
Yeah.
So, like... Sorry, I don't know. Nothing comes to mind.
But I understand what you're saying.
Heroes Rising, or whatever.
Right. Yeah, if it's a story that does the word crisis, which generally
we have come to expect, something multiversal, or at least universe-altering in some way. Yeah.
Now, first things first.
Here they are. The cover.
I'm kidding. This is actually second thing because we already did it first. But the cover is fine. I don't care. It's whatever.
No, that 2 thing is cool though. I don't know if that was on purpose.
Yeah, that was a nice little thing that I didn't notice until I just brought it up on the screen. We've got like one page of what's his nuts. What's this guy's name?
Pariah are his nuts. Is his nuts?
His nuts.
Yeah.
Pariah.
Otherwise, you would have said, "What are his nuts?" If it was.
What are his nuts?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is basically Titan's Tower is under siege. Beast Boy has been shot in the head last episode, but this issue, they tell you he'll be fine.
He'll be
Like
fine.
the guy who shot him in the head is like, he'll be great. It's just what? It's just a face shot. Anyone can take a face shot.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Those people don't survive.
No, that's a shot to the face. That's very different.
Was that about you and Batman?
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Cum. And
JD on Batman.
What do you think of Deathstroke's outfit?
It is his regular outfit with a torn up coat over top of it.
Yeah.
It is of a different era, it feels like, or the future as imagined by a different era.
But like he doesn't have his helmet on. He's got his eye patch, but he's also got like a mohawk.
Yeah,
and he's got the trench coat.
It's not just a mask. You think? Yeah, I guess sometimes it's explicitly a helmet. That's true.
Yeah. That guy's
taking
some shots to the head.
Sure.
Which is different than shots to the face.
Headshots.
And then I did like that Superman showed up, and then Cyborg Superman, and then the Green Lantern. So it is getting bigger and bigger. It's just. It felt strange. Oh, and there's Mullane, Joe Mullane. I like her a lot. So it's definitely getting bigger as it goes. And
it was Mullen. Remember we learned that while
we did.
reading. I thought it was Mullane, but it's when we were reading Far Sector. It was revealed.
Joe Mullen. You're right.
Yeah.
Noel says it just hit me. This is reading more like a Marvel event street level, as opposed to a multiversal, crazy big, reality-altering crisis. So far, yes, absolutely.
Now,
but. I
wonder if that's what's up. Like you were saying, it's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. It might be that it starts with them trying to replace the heroes. And then towards the end, we saw all the Green Lanterns. The Flashes are doing something. They're trying to find Barry Allen. So I wonder if it will, if that's their plan, is to show the small effects in the beginning and then like it keeps building and building.
Let it grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah. And I love it anytime the whole Green Lantern Corps shows up, or a lot of them. That's always fun, right?
Yeah.
You get the whole Corps as part of some crisis.
It's not the whole Corps if you don't got Gnort. I don't see Gnort.
I mean, it's also far fewer than 7,200 characters right there, but there's a lot of them.
I can't count that high, so I don't know. I'm just going to take your word for it.
It's just one right after the other. You just keep going up.
I don't know how to do that. Kyle. I like that Kyle's back.
Yeah.
Kyle Rayner was my Green Lantern.
He's been out for a little while, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't seen him.
I haven't seen him either. Nowhere.
Not a single place.
No.
I was just at Wawa. I was at Wawa. Wasn't there.
And he wasn't there?
No.
What about the other Wawa that you go to sometimes?
I've not seen him there yet either.
He's not neither place.
Yeah. He might have been in the bathroom though. Who knows?
They do have bathrooms at some Wawas, and he does probably use the bathroom. Yeah.
Kevin said, hey, Kevin. Kevin says, Kyle was my dude. Kevin, pretty sure he was my dude. So
you guys had the same dude?
Back off.
I'll tell you what. I never much jived with Kyle Rayner until the Power of Ion storyline, and then the stuff that came after that. And I was like, this is awesome. I'm into Kyle Rayner now. Yeah.
Kyle was my guy because I was the same age he was when he became Green Lantern, and he was a graphic artist, and his girlfriend was stuffed in a fridge. So like I really related to all that stuff.
Yeah, but he didn't do that to his girlfriend, JD. So that's a difference.
Listen, it's not a 1-for-1.
Right. It's not exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm able to, using empathy, I'm able to like put myself in that position wherein someone else did that to my girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
Using your empathy.
Noel says, I'm sure it'll build. I'm just personally enjoying exploring legacy struggles more so than another cascading multiverse thingy, death metal fatigue. Absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, Noel. I was thinking about like when Brian was saying about how it's building. I was like, yeah, I like that more than I liked the Scott Snyder, everything, including the kitchen sink, every single issue. It was just too much. So I like that this is a build. And also I'm a fan of the Titans. Although I don't like that the one Titan is named Brat Girl.
Brat Girl? Where was that?
She's in the beginning.
I guess I just sort of read over it and I saw her pointy ears and I was like, oh, did he say Batgirl? All right, I guess there's another Batgirl.
Yeah. And her pointy ears, I hope I'm mistaken here. I'm hoping that's like a headband that she's got on because she's got like dreads. but the way that the artist draws them, it makes it look like she has somehow fashioned her hair into pointy bat ears. And I hate it.
You're not into that. How would
not
you do
into
that
it.
even? Yeah.
I'm hoping it's just like, you should put on some
like a little thing. What if it was like a combo? Like she puts on a little thing and then wraps a little hair around it.
Nah, I don't like it.
You're not into it. Okay, that's fair.
I don't like it. Yeah.
Oh, and he's also Deathstroke has all of these other heroes in his sights, like depicted as being in his sights on I think the page after this, who are a bunch of people, only some of whom have been Titans. I think. So it's kind of.
Are you talking about the page that I have up now?
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like Firestorm and Dr. Light, and I think even Wonder Girl have not been Titans. And is that Batman actually? Yeah, I think that's Batman.
Well, that is the other Batman, the New York Batman. Is it Fox? Luke Fox?
Jace Fox.
Jace Fox. Yeah. That's Jace Fox.
And he hasn't been the Titan either.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. I agree with Noel. The death metal fatigue, like. I think where they got to after death metal and how the universe was set up was pretty cool. And in addition to me liking it, it was pretty recently that they did that. So hopefully this will just be a cool story that at most has like some minor changes at most, but is mostly just about like whatever story plays out and universe threatening thing they have to deal with. Not necessarily a new continuity already.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be. Oh, it better not be. I mean, he does say that he's trying to bring back the entire multiverse before, like, pre-crisis multiverse.
He's trying to. And I would be fine with it if they do that. But the regular Earth is still just whatever it is, Like, kind of, I mean, Infinite Crisis and Final Crisis didn't really affect reality that much, although Final Crisis wasn't really that to begin with. Infinite Crisis was, but at the end it mostly just ended with everything you've read is intact, but the Silver Age also happened too, and then it was altered and some characters survived, that kind of thing. Now I'll tell you, I see that we're moving on, but I read through this so quickly that I was like, oh, it's already over. This issue is already done.
Yeah, it went quick.
Yeah, and I had to check, like, is there a backup story or something? But no, it just really moved. Yeah. Anyway, it was good.
It was good. Yeah, I enjoyed both books that I read this week. Yeah. All right, that's the books for this week. Let's talk about freaking Thor, Love and Thunder.
I don't think we really can talk about that until we really, really sincerely ask people to give us all the money that they can spare.
Yes.
As leaving only for themselves enough to survive.
Listen, here's the thing.
Yeah.
We love doing the show. We do the show for free, but it would be better for us if you, the listener, viewer, gave us money. Preferably as much as humanly possible. Brian says leave enough for you to live on.
Yeah. Now, here's the reason I say that, and it is the only reason, so that you can produce more money to send to us at a later time.
I see. I was going to call you an SJW liberal cuck.
Come on.
Okay, great. All right.
Yeah.
That's a good.
It's a long game.
I like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I like that. Yeah. Which also makes me think that you're an SJW liberal cuck, just for having the forethought to do that.
Thinking about stuff? Yeah, those dudes tend to go hand in hand.
Ugh. So if you want to give us money, like some sort of SJW liberal cuck, then, I mean, I'm not going to stop you. In fact, I'll encourage it.
Yeah. We're encouraging it right now. You're happy. You're hearing it.
If you want to help us out, you can go to patreon.com/JohnnyDestructo. If you're if you're like one of those poor people that I've heard about,
must be awful.
Yeah, then I guess you could just leave us a review, or you could like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff.
Tell somebody about the show that you think might be interested in it.
You know what? Tell somebody about the show who has a lot of money that they love to give to strangers on the internet for talking about pop culture. That specifically, if you have that friend,
or
tell
friends
them about this show.
If you have more than one person who fits that description,
I can't even get one,
friends.
But if you've got multiple,
yeah.
I like that all of our views have just dropped. I can see
it's not. No, you guys don't have to have those friends.
Yeah, just come back. Come back.
Yeah. Can you still hear us even if you stop watching?
Yeah, if I yell loud enough, they're like, "Oh, okay, I guess they're done chilling."
Yeah.
All right, Thor Love and Thunder. It says here on the poster, in theaters July 8th. It looks like it's got some lady on it. Apparently it's in Dolby Cinema, a real 3D IMAX. Real D 3D.
Studio? What is the production company?
Looks like Marvel, maybe Marvel
is that
Studios.
Right? Marvel Studios.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was directed by someone, and it's probably stars.
Many films are, in modern cinema experience.
I'm assuming Chris Hemsworth was involved. I don't know.
Chris.
Probably. One of the Chris's.
One of the Chris's.
So, Brian, with regard to Thor Ragnarok, was also directed by Taika Waititi. What did you think of that as a Thor installment?
It.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I love to.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised by this?
Could you tell by the way I was acting surprised?
It's a common expression of surprise. Yeah.
That's why I used it. You seem like you would really like Thor 1. And then
I'll tell you what, Thor 1, I remember thinking the Asgardian stuff, very cool. The Earth stuff, not as great. Like the direction there was not as compelling. I don't really remember what specifically I thought about it, but I remember thinking the Asgard stuff was very cool. But Dark World, I don't remember too well. And so you didn't think I would enjoy Ragnarok so much?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. It's my favorite Thor movie.
Oh, absolutely. I thought it had a great blend of seriousness and gravity of emotion and humor. And the story arc was awesome. A lot of the shit looked really cool, too. In that order, probably. I liked it.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I really liked it. I thought it was funny and charming and witty.
One of my favorite MCU movies, probably, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. That being said, because you just did it. I heard it. What did you think of Love and Thunder?
So, that being said, I liked it. I did not think it was as good as Ragnarok.
Same.
I still liked a lot of it. There were a lot of parts of it that I thought were really cool. And as a movie as a whole, I thought it was cool. But at every moment of importance in the story, it was undercut with a joke, right? And all the jokes were really funny. Like, they were great. I thought, if anything, there were too many. There was a lot of story stuff, emotional stuff that could have been explored in this movie, but none of those, or very few of those moments, were able to land for very long before a joke was made, so that it didn't carry through as much as an arc for characters or as a journey or an exploration of their feelings. You knew that they were feeling those things, but we didn't feel it as much,
Yes.
Yeah.
100% agreed.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Love and Thunder that I did about Ragnarok, which is it's a lot of fun. I had a ball, but there were some emotional beats that I think needed a little bit more breathing room. This one, but this one even more so.
Yeah.
The stuff with Jane, I think, was handled really well. And although I do, well, all right. Before we get to spoilers, I will say I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun. I didn't walk out of it like hyped and crazy and feeling jazzed like I did with
Mhm.
maybe Ragnarok, because it felt
Mhm.
Ragnarok felt fresh to me, where this felt like, oh, okay, this is more of what they were doing on Ragnarok.
It was more in a second movie and more overall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one should have been longer,
Mhm.
which I don't usually say, but I feel like I could have stayed in this a little bit longer in order to get more of the emotional beats that we needed from Gore and from
Mhm.
Jane, and have a lot less Zeus. I feel like a lot of the Zeus stuff was a bunch of gags that didn't need to be there.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, I really enjoyed it, and I love Jane. I think she was awesome.
Yeah.
I think Gore didn't have enough to work with, played by
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Thank you. So I really would have liked more Gore. As
His
far as the
story
character.
could have been very compelling, and it opens in a very, very serious way.
Yeah.
And you don't see him that serious again, really.
Right.
Or right at the end, I suppose. But he doesn't explore that sadness, and he doesn't seem to have much, I don't know, anger even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gore should have been scarier, says Robert Monroe Jr. I agree. And like just larger,
Yeah.
He didn't take up much of the running time of the movie, or even like didn't have much of a presence in the movie, I felt like.
Agreed. Yeah. I really wanted to see much more of him. First of all, he's called the God Butcher.
Right.
Does he kill one god? Is that what we see?
You see one,
the first
and
god.
you hear about several others, and that's it.
Yeah.
Actually, he doesn't even break into the city that is impregnable, or so they claim. I guess he couldn't get in.
Yeah.
Also his thing, right?
Let's move into. We're gonna, for anyone who hasn't seen Love and Thunder, we're moving into spoilers now. Would you recommend it?
You really should have already stopped listening, right? If I haven't heard, if I haven't seen something, and they start talking about Thor, I'm out.
Okay. Yeah. But for those who are still around, do you recommend they go see it? Because I do.
Yeah, I recommend to go see it.
Great. All right, go see it, then come back and watch this. Robert Monroe, I got to see Thor Love and Thunder on Wednesday. I agree with Brian. Way too much comedy. In other MCU movies, humor was used to release tension. Comedy here was overbearing. This was an action comedy.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a comedy action. If you, that definitely seemed to take the fore in it.
Noel says crunchy, rushed first act, fun second act, fantastic third act. I agree. What Gore was doing in the comics was horrific. We didn't get to see any of that. That's what I'm saying. He's the God Butcher. He did no butchering. He killed one guy in the throat, right? He killed
that was like his origin. Like that was the first, right? The first thing he ever did. Yeah.
If I had my druthers, we would have gone to that city of gods, and Gore would have decimated, have been wrecking people so badly.
Right.
That Thor, like in Superman 2, where Superman took the Kryptonians and flew off, right? He was like, I'm going to make them follow me.
Mm-hmm.
I would have maybe, he was killing so many gods at that point that Thor had to lure him away.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of expecting in that scene. And then it was just a bunch of Zeus jokes and orgy jokes. And
they even had a way to lure him away. During that scene, he could have discovered that Gore really needed the Bifrost controlled by Stormbreaker, and then left that way. Now the Zeus, I didn't think it was as too much as you did, but I could definitely see thinking like it did take a while. I was just kind of into seeing all the gods in the city, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But the element during that scene that I thought was a little rushed, or simple, was Gore the God Butcher, whose threat is the Necro Sword, and his ability to kill gods is after a way to get to eternity, the being eternity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the golden snitch, I've recently been rewatching the Harry Potter movies, but it's like one of those, you get this, you win it all kind of things.
Yeah.
And could easily have, his threat is the Necro Sword, right?
Yeah.
He's capable of just going through the gods and then maybe at the end going to eternity. However, when they said he's going to go to eternity, I was like, oh shit, yeah. We're going to see eternity in the MCU. This is awesome. And
I was impressed too.
Pretty awesome, but I was picturing eternity as being really, really big, like he is in the comics, dwarfs, everyone, people of human size.
Everything exists within him.
Exactly. He is, everything exists within him, and you are there seeing him.
Yeah.
Right. I would have thought they go to wherever plane of existence, and he is like massively sort of half there above the horizon, kind of like thing. Like you're seeing something larger than a planet next to you, so you can only see the head and shoulders or that kind of thing. But we didn't get that, but we still saw eternity, so that was cool.
Yeah.
I was into it.
It was cool that they had him there. Robert Monroe says, Zeus reiterated why Gore thought that the gods should die. Just like Gore's god, Zeus doesn't care about the people who worship him. Great. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Could have done that in like 3 lines.
Yeah.
Didn't need to go back and forth with all the gags and stuff.
Yeah. I did like the
I needed more Butcher.
I like Thor. I mean, like, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I base a lot of what I do off of that guy. Like, he's awesome.
Oh yeah. He was nerding out. He was geeking out about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love it. Yeah. He's lightning and thunder.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Now, Noel does say something that I agree with. Gory was scary as fuck, sitting in the cage, fucking with the children. That was terrifying to me, says Noel.
Mm-hmm.
That scene was awesome. And, I've always really considered that actor.
Christian Bale?
I can never remember his name. Patrick Bateman.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I never consider Christian Bale to be an affable or pleasant, charming human being.
Even in Newsies?
I don't remember
neither do
very
I.
well. But like he just seems like a guy who doesn't have a sense of humor to me. And so seeing him sort of unleash a little bit and be a little goofy almost was even more unnerving. Because I'm like, that's frightening.
Yeah.
So I love that scene. And I wanted more of that. Yeah, I wanted more.
I agree with that. Like, I thought that scene was terrifying, and it was one of the only times that we got to see him like that, doing anything particularly frightening. But yeah.
You know what? That's a great point, Robert Monroe. Robert says, agreed. The gags were ridiculous. In the midst of a gag, Gore should have showed up and started a slaughter. One of the main complaints that people have about the MCU is that drama is undercut by humor. There'll be something happening and then someone will make a joke.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been interesting to me if in this movie, Taika Waititi turned that around and every time there was a gag, it got interrupted by horrible violence or something scary or something dramatic. You know what I mean? I think that would have been an interesting reversal.
That's true. Especially in that scene where Zeus is being like a joke of a god, and it would have really made Gore's point in the movie.
Yeah.
If that was when he showed up and slaughtered a bunch of people. Yeah. So, unfortunate.
Noel says, shrug, I liked it being a shaped window into the universe as opposed to an imperceivable massive thingy. He's talking about eternity.
About eternity. See, now, but eternity always looks like that, and I love it. I love that he is sort of like a 2-dimensional view into a 3-dimensional space and all that is kind of thing. And I think it's great. I love that aspect of his deal.
Oh, I never changed the banner. There we go. There it is.
There it is.
Thor Love and Thunder. We're talking about it now.
Yeah.
Before it didn't count because I didn't have the right banner up on the screen. Sorry, start all over.
I liked why Mjolnir. I liked the reason that they came up with for why Mjolnir empowered Jane. It wasn't just a, hey, it happened, kind of deal.
Well, do you think, do you think that might undercut Jane's worthiness? So basically, we have Thor when he was, well, I guess he was always in love with her, but like when they were together, he got drunk and whispered, when I'm, always take care of her, make sure she's okay. And so that's why she becomes worthy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
As opposed to her just being worthy.
I don't think so.
It's like, watch my girlfriend.
Right.
Make sure she's okay.
He definitely, I think it wasn't just because he was drunk. I think he deeply and really asked Mjolnir to take care of her. And they have, and they have a much more sapient relationship at least in these last couple of movies, where Mjolnir and even Stormbreaker in this movie seem to have feelings, or be like,
well, they're treated like ex-girlfriends and current girlfriends, or ex-lovers and current lovers,
right? And like buddies that you're, I get an element of like, not exactly a pet, but like a friend of a different species kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know if the enchantment is still in force, but, since Odin has passed on and Thor took his power and then maybe has it still or whatever, I'm not sure.
Right.
But the enchantment is still, you have to be worthy to lift the hammer.
Yeah.
Right. So like Steve Rogers could do it because he was worthy. I think maybe he would never love somebody who was unworthy of lifting Mjolnir,
Well, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Yeah. I like that. I was just, when I heard it, when it happened in the movie, I was like, oh, that's a neat idea. Oh, it's a man asking the hammer to take care of the woman. And I was a little wishy-washy about it. I'm not sure. It doesn't bother me too much, but I did kind of go, oh, that's neat. Oh, wait,
Yeah. Although, I mean, you could say narratively it implies that she can't take care of herself or whatever. It doesn't make the narrative point that she could do it on her own in the larger cultural context. But also, it's like a guy who wants to keep somebody close to him safe, and the hammer agrees. That. Yeah.
I'm just talking about in terms of like a woman's
agency and independence. Yeah. I think she showcased it a great deal in this film, though.
Yeah. Oh, I loved her. I thought she was great in this.
Yeah.
I would like more of her.
Yeah, me too. And I think it's possible, right?
Yeah. Well, somebody was going online, in the comment section, someone was like, before the movie came out, I guess he read a leaked script or something, was like, this is what happens. It's one of those dick bags who's like, oh, she dies. She dies. And she just they just write that in the comments. And she does. Yeah. But then at the end, she's in Valhalla. And I can't tell if that's supposed to be a nice cap to her character, which is like, oh, she got into Valhalla for being a warrior, or if it's supposed to lead into like being a Valkyrie.
That's what I was thinking, or at least it could. Yeah, that's what they, found to do with her when she wasn't going to be Thor anymore. And I thought that was pretty cool, her being Valkyrie. Although I don't think she died in the comics, right?
Yeah, she did.
She did?
She did.
Okay. But when she kind of turned into that glowing light, those particles, I was like, oh, you know what? Which I totally forgot about that Odin did, but they told you earlier in the movie that
That's
Odin
true.
turned into particles of glowing light, or at least that was an effect.
Space dust, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe didn't just left it behind, didn't turn into it. So it seemed like it could be a cap to her story, but I kind of got the feeling that it was at least leaving the door open, in the sense of leaving the door open, even if it never actually happens. Yeah. You could see Heimdall again, or any of them, apparently. Yeah.
The only thing that gives me pause is, and I don't know a lot about this situation, but I do know that she was pretty frustrated and didn't want to do Thor Dark World, and because of the contract she had to do it, and there was sort of bad blood there, so that when she actually came back for this one, you know, she wasn't in Ragnarok at all,
right?
Or even the Avengers. I don't think she ever shows up.
No,
they just kind of like mentioned that they broke up off panel, off screen. But I mean, clearly she came back for this, so I don't know if they threw a bucket of money at her or if she was just interested because she had more to do than be the damsel.
That could have been what she wasn't into about the first one. She certainly, in press from a very long time ago, seemed very excited about it. Yeah. And there's no way that you could fake that kind of thing for a bucket of money. So, but no, I mean, it seemed like she was like into it and like, I'm going to be Thor and have a more, you know, a larger role. And
Noel says, I geeked out hard when she turned to dust, looked at my wife and said, she died as a god. She died as a god. Yeah.
That's good. That was the final credit scene. The movie had ended. He was free to yell in the theater at that
time. I didn't put that together, actually, that she died as a god thing.
Yeah. See if
here
you know, I thought we were going to see a metal arm for her. Because that happened to Thor, and I thought they were doing something like that.
That would be cool. I did like that. I did like that one bit though, where she's missing an arm, and she says something about going to Valhalla, and he like takes the time to go. Actually, it's you have to die in battle, not just on after the battle. And she's like, damn it. Thor Dark World, they originally hired or almost hired Patty Jenkins to direct. It fell through due to creative differences, and she wanted to walk with the director, Natalie Portman, but could not. Thank you. That's what it was. Now, Patty Jenkins, she did Wonder Woman 2 and 1, right?
Yeah, 2 and 1. Counting down.
She did 1 and 2. 1 I liked for the most part, and 2 was rough. Yeah.
So who knows? Dark World could have been really good or not that great.
Or worse. Yeah.
And didn't she direct some episodes of Arrested Development?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Possibly.
That's cool though if she did. I'm a big Arrested Development fan. First 3 seasons anyway.
Oh, of course.
Me
too. What else indeed?
I thought it was kind of cute. I'm not mad at it, but it was a little silly. Thor turning all of the children's stuff into weapons, god weapons. I thought.
See, I thought it was a little silly at one point in the middle of it, but I was also like quite taken with the scene. I was into it. Yeah, because he does the empowering thing, and it makes sense that he could do that because it's kind of the same thing as his hammer, Yeah.
So Noel says that was amazing, and then he types again, that period was amazing in all caps.
Yes. I agree. I was down with it. I thought it was very cool and could have not been as it's interesting that a big part of the final battle involved a bunch of children wielding these lightning weapons as Asgardian and various other children. But it really worked, I felt like.
Okay.
Yeah, even though it was sort of could have been very comical in a movie that we've said was overly comical. I thought that worked.
It is in retrospect after wanting more Gore, pathos, and wanting more Jane. We've got 2 very long scenes that I can easily point to and go, didn't need to be as long or at all. If we could have sacrificed a little bit of that and had Gore doing god butchery, I think I'd prefer that. I think that's really what it is. It's not that I really had a problem with it, but after the experience is over, I go, could have trimmed that.
I liked a lot how Thor and Jane met again and how they interacted from that moment onward. It was a very cool, like, they obviously like and care for each other and respect each other a great deal. And there was no like snippiness or, you know, he wasn't pissed and she wasn't like, bet you didn't see this coming, you know. Well, she did, but she didn't see it coming either. But you know, there was on neither side was there like any kind of angry quips or anything like that about it. Although I did like how he just checked to pick up the hammer just to make sure he still could.
Checking. There's actually quite a little piece of dialogue that I really liked, talking about the two of them having a back and forth about their relationship, and it was about them having a disagreement over who left who. And he's like, you definitely left me because you left me a note. I was there. I read the note. That's how I know you left. And I was like, good on you, Thor. But then she comes back straight away with, you know why I wrote a note? Because you weren't there. And I went, that's true. Shit.
Yeah. Although that seems like more of a, you weren't around that much and that was a reason to leave. Whereas the other one was leaving in the sense of ending the relationship. I think I still have to say
the fact that she had to write a note because he wasn't there for her to tell him that she was leaving.
Indeed. It was a good interaction. Yeah,
it was a clever little bit of back and forth between, which felt real. It felt like it could happen with any couple that has that sort of issue. That was great.
Sure. You know what was very cool was the hammer breaking apart and coming back together thing. Very cool thing to do with the hammer. Yeah. That
was bonkers good. I love that. I think I made a noise in the theater. I think I was like, oh shit. That's cool.
Oh, that is a noise.
I probably spoke 2 words.
2 noises.
Two noises. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. Especially, but doesn't she send it into something and it explodes outward?
Yes, and then into one of those shadow monster things.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I also liked how the light from their stuff when they were in the shadow realm, like illuminated color onto them.
Yes.
I thought it was pretty cool. Speaking of the shadow realm.
And the very tiny. So all right. So there was a period between them getting the lightning bolt from Zeus and then winding up on that very small Rick and Morty planet. So I had to go use the bathroom. So I missed how they got there. But
you missed the part with the Bifrost in the boat and all that stuff? Was that what you missed?
Oh, no. They had the Bifrost hammer, right? They had Stormbreaker in the front of the boat, which created the Bifrost. So I saw that. But I walked in and I'm like, oh, they're on a very small planet.
It was small. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Noel jumped in. I was about to bring up the gag that should have been so annoying that I wanted to leave the theater. Instead, I laughed every single time those fucking goats screamed.
Me too. It was like, this is annoying, but I still like it. I was happy when it stopped. Like, I was happy that he got them to stop, but I liked it happening. Yeah. You know, Thor has...
Every time they screamed,
And there was one time in particular, I think, like they hadn't done it in a while and they were getting sucked into something. I forget. Thor has... Thor has 2 goats in Norse mythology. Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder, and they pull his chariot. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And they're also in the Jason Aaron run.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is what I must have missed. Noel says, I could not stop laughing at the boat hitting the planet in forced perspective and a disparate.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
Best visual gag in the whole movie, and you were peeing. I missed it. You know, Noel should have just been on the fucking show.
Yeah. He could still have worked, right? Just look away, type.
What are you doing? No, I'm eating Raisinets.
Raisinets?
Yeah.
Couldn't handle the full-size raisins?
Oh, that was one of the things I missed. Apparently, there was like a Mjolnir popcorn bucket or something.
And you missed it?
I missed it. I didn't know to look for it.
That'd have been cool. Was it like how'd that work? Was like was it like a plastic bucket and the handle was below the part that was a bucket? Or there was like a lid?
Or maybe it was Mjolnir on the ground But then the hammer part is filled with popcorn.
There's like a handle sticking out of
Now
the middle of
Google
your popcorn. Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, like a surreptitious penis.
Bucket. Oh, that's exactly what it is. Hold on. It's
a surreptitious penis? Yeah.
It's the ground. And then Mjolnir is sticking right up. The handle is straight up into the air. But you open it. You open the bottom of the hammer, and there is the popcorn's in there.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But it does mean that you have this thing in your lap, which is a hammer, and then the handle is out this way.
Yeah. I'd probably get one of those and bring it back to the car, dump the popcorn into some other bag.
Yeah.
And then go in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's for $69.99 on eBay right now.
Oh, okay. That's not how much it is if you go to the movie theater.
No.
Okay. Because that would be a lot.
Oh, they're $40.
That's still kind of a lot. You have a pretty cool miniature Mjolnir in your shop, JD, I think, for $30. There's no popcorn, but it's pretty sweet. There's like a little, it's next to an infinity gauntlet.
Oh, I do!
Yeah.
I do! We just got it in. I also have...
I think somebody would be aware of the inventory in their own shop, but I guess not.
It just came in this week.
Yeah, there it is. And you're lifting it. Good job.
Well, I'm lifting the thing it's on.
Oh, that's true. Elevators can cause it to go up and that kind of thing.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like Marvel Studios, what do they call it? Museum pieces. So I've got Mjolnir. I've got Thanos's Infinity Gauntlet, and Captain America's shield. And I've got the Black Panther helmet coming in, as well as Captain Carter's shield.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess with that one, it's pretty easy for them because they can just use the shield that they already have and paint it differently.
Yes.
That's cool.
So anyway.
You know what? I was not disappointed, but at the end I was like, no Beta Ray Bill. That's a shame. Maybe someday, you know? And the girl's got the Stormbreaker now, but anything could happen. She might not need that forever. She's empowered by eternity, you know? I thought her appearance was cool the first time where you see her walking over in the reflection and it's like eternity style. And the eponymous Love and Thunder. Yeah. So she is referred to at the end as Love and he is, you know, Thunder, at least metaphorically. I thought it was cool. Like, hey, that was the title. That's cool.
It felt a little forced.
Oh, yeah. Well, he did call her Love a bunch of times.
Did he?
Gore did.
Oh, Gore does. Does he call her Love? Thing.
Several times.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
See, that's otherwise cool. It would be. I'd agree. It would be a little like shoehorned in. But yeah, he calls her that. I don't know what Thor raising a kid will be like.
Yeah.
You know, if that will be something that's cool in the MCU or even addressed. She could be an adult the next time you see her. Who knows? You know?
True.
But could be very cool. Who knows? So yeah. Oh, and the first post-credit scene. Oh, and right, Noel says you never know her name. He just calls her my love.
Which is the first post-credit scene? Where
we see Brent Goldstein from Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso,
Hercules. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
I don't know if I care. I thought that was cute, but I don't know if I care.
Oh, I'm into Hercules, and I forgot until that scene that I was like, oh yeah, I kind of thought Hercules could be in it because Zeus is there, you know? Yeah. And I thought that was a cool reason to introduce him and give them some, you know, some antagonism between them at the start. And I always thought Hercules was cool. And they seem to have done his costume like spot on, which is not strange for the MCU.
It happened so quick. I could barely catch it. I was just like, it was quick enough that I was like, oh, hey, it's that guy. Oh, he's by.
Yeah. He'll be back, I think. And they said Thor will return. Oh, they said Thor will return at the end, which...
What I like about that
Yeah.
is they don't tell you which one.
Oh, that's interesting. Almost
right?
definitely Thor, though.
Yeah, it's probably Thor.
You think it's Thor?
It might be Thor.
I think it's Thor. Original Thor, I would
goats.
assume. I do think that if she shows up again, Jane Foster, she'll be Valkyrie.
Hey, Noel, since you're watching, I was in Vermont today, for the past couple of days, and the guy we went to a cafe, and the guy who was making my sandwich in the back, the cook, happened to like peek through to the front where I was standing with my Darkman t-shirt.
Huh.
And he was like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt. Fucking Darkman, that's awesome." And I said, "Yeah, it's a great movie." He's like, "Yeah, it's an awesome movie." And I've never seen anyone wearing a Darkman shirt in my life. So
nice.
Thanks. Noel got me this as a present
that's
long
awesome.
ago.
I thought you were going to say he recognized you from the show.
Nah.
People, I think, worldwide would recognize us. Probably, especially in the Pacific Islands. I would think.
Yeah, that's where we pull in the greatest numbers.
Yeah. Well, they love us, and I love them for it. Yeah,
they do. Bisexual Marvel Hercules, I'm down, says Noel. Noel got himself a Darkman shirt too. He
Sweet.
typed in third person and also parentheses for some reason.
Like the stage directions, I think. Yeah. You guys should wear them together and go to Vermont together.
Ah!
Yes.
Anything else to say about Love and Thunder?
No. Overall, I still really liked it. When Thor changed costumes, I thought that was cool. It was like, yeah, why
that was funny.
Yeah. Oh, and when we saw his original comics costume for a second and a half, as they're telling his story and he's growing up and he's running, you see him. The first costume that you see him in is that.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. That's cool.
Yeah.
There was another gag that I thought was a little unnecessary. Is his name Korg? Korg. I love Korg as a character, as a side character. And then I was like, oh, they killed him. Oh, oh, wait, no, he's alive.
Yeah.
And now he's strapped to her back.
Yeah, that was cool.
I didn't like.
Yeah,
that.
I was glad that he was still in it. But apparently, I guess could go either way as far as whether he'll show up again or not. Like, there's a perfectly good reason that he wouldn't be around. Yeah.
Yeah, now that he's got a partner.
Yeah.
Apparently, people online are upset. Disney pushing its gay agenda with these two rock creatures
of a totally different species.
Yeah. No, God damn it. Oh, those two
I wonder.
Rocks love each other. I'm sorry.
If they even have multiple genders, if the sentient rock is, I mean, not that rocks couldn't. We're meat.
Yeah. We're neat.
Meat, like
meat.
Flesh.
Oh, we are meat. That's true. We are meat.
Yeah, and bones and stuff.
Look at those two steaks loving each other.
Yeah, exactly. I do that a lot, actually, with the steaks that I buy. Like dolls, but steaks. No, I make them love each other.
Oh, I see.
It's sexy.
It takes them a few decades to make a lava baby, says Noel. Korg might be out of it for a while, making a baby.
Wait, was that decade? I thought it was a significantly shorter amount of time. I thought it was like 90 days or something like that. But I don't know.
What was I gonna? What else is there? I guess that's it. Are we freaking done? Oh, so we're talking about the show.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to the listener now.
And
the viewer. Not you. Don't listen. Close your ears. We're gonna be changing things up on the show. So instead of, we're still figuring out the whys and wherefores, but instead of doing this 7 comic books that come out every week, we're going to be changing it up. We're going to be doing probably more graphic novels and movies and TV shows. So we might break it up. It might be a different thing every week per month. So it might be like a movie one week and then a TV show the next week and then a graphic novel the following week. And then probably the last week of the month, we might still do a spoiler alert comic book review show, but it'll probably be more about what we read the whole month as opposed to every single week. We've been doing it this format for like over 10 years. And it's time. I just want to do something different. We're gonna do something different. So probably more evergreen conversations because to be honest, I used to listen to the iFanboy podcast a lot. And that was back when I could keep up on all the books. But then at some point I could not keep up with the books every week. And so I would just be like, well, I got to turn this off because I don't want to know what happens in this issue of Amazing Spider-Man because I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
And then I would never go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
So I want to create something that's a little bit more evergreen. So like if we do Strange Adventures by Tom King and someone out there reads Strange Adventures by Tom King, the book, the whole graphic novel, they could just type it in and be like, here's an episode about Strange Adventures, not Strange Adventures number 3.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
which also often has, it's never a whole story. And so we're almost always commenting on a portion of a story, which many times leads itself to conversations which are more similar than we would like to each other. When you don't get the whole of a story, I feel like a lot of the stuff that we say or that we can say about each comic becomes more similar. And that's another reason that we thought about changing things up.
Yeah. So anyway, be on the lookout for that. I'm very excited about it.
Me
I
too.
like watching movies and reading graphic novels and, all sorts of other stuff. And we might, at the beginning of every show, we might still talk about if a certain book came out this week that we love, we might talk about that. But be on the lookout for that. I'm excited about it. The other guys are excited about it. Unless they're lying to me, which would be weird. That'd be a weird thing to lie about.
You would never know. I would make it my business.
Yeah.
Until maybe one moment when it would really crush you.
Yes.
Yeah.
On my deathbed. Wait till my deathbed.
We'll see. Maybe I'm not going to wait. Maybe I'll instigate it and then tell you.
The sadness of the revelation will put me on my deathbed. Yeah.
Oh, no. I was going to separately kill, murder you.
I see. Yeah.
And then in your last moments, I'd carry you to a bed and
that you have labeled
and then tell you that I was lying about being excited about our upcoming change of format.
I hope that my deathbed that you carry me to has the words deathbed sprinkled with rose petals.
Well,
if I'm able to choose my own deathbed, that's what I would like.
I mean, the one I already have isn't exactly like that, but
you've got time, assuming you're not on your way now.
I mean, not yet, but I went to a lot of trouble to commission a bed that spells out deathbed in cushions and such.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Too.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's very kind of comic-y, actually.
No, that's great.
Which I thought you might like for
almost like a Dave. What's his name? Dave Stevens, the Spirit,
where he works it into the title of the story. Yeah. You could call this the title of your final story. Sure.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next week. We don't know what we're doing next week. We had this conversation today. We haven't finished the conversation. Maybe next week we'll talk about a movie. Maybe we'll still do the weekly comics next week. We're not sure. But come hang out with us and find out.
I'm gonna open it up, and JD can reject it. That if you guys have any suggestions of a TV show that you're like, hey guys, this is a really cool show. It's available on Netflix or whatever other streaming service or whatever. You tell us about it, and we'll think it over. We'll see what it's all about. Yeah.
Also, we may throw it out to listeners if they want to come on the show and talk to us about certain things. So, be a little bit more. Noel says rejected.
Said JD can reject.
Not Noel.
Well, no, don't worry, Noel, because it's already built into the premise that we can completely disregard any suggestions that we don't like. And
he rejected your suggestion just now. He's already started it.
It's true.
All right, I got to get out of here. Thank you for hanging out with us. Go see Love and Thunder. Email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of Love and Thunder. It's getting mixed reviews. I'm seeing a lot. Well, it's tough to tell because there's a lot of people online who are complaining just because there's a fucking woman in it. So it's hard to tell what's legit. I don't know anybody in real life who hated it.
There's also, there are the reasons that we mentioned. I wouldn't look askance at anyone for saying they didn't care for the movie because of that. You know,
you didn't look askance at me once.
I didn't, and I wouldn't
for that particular thing.
Yeah, that's true. I ensconced you look-wise a couple of times,
but because of different things. Yeah,
yeah, because totally other things.
Because of my freedom in talking about cum.
Yeah. There was I definitely
mostly cum related.
I was like perpendicular to you, and my eyes were as side as they could get. Yeah. And you couldn't be more ensconced of me, my friend.
All right, guys. That's it. We're done. We're getting out of here. Noel, we missed you, buddy, but I'm really glad you were able to hang out and chat with us. That's great. That was awesome. All right. Love you guys. Talk at you later.